welcome to Worship Tutorials.
Hello, everybody.
We have free patches for you if you're a Fractal user, whether you use AX8 III, FM3, FM9, even AX8. This patch is available for that platform as well.
And we have free patches.
Yeah.
Everything we make patches for, there's free
something
option.
Free. And it's fully featured. We do not hold back because it's free. It has everything that we throw into like the non-free patches. This patch is actually available as part of the free bundles for AX8 III, FM3, FM9. You also get a song patch with that free bundle. You heard Bradford play this patch in the context of a mix. We're just going to go through and just really quickly walk through the different sounds that you get, and there are many with these patches. First though, let's talk about how we've set them up to work with the controllers from Fractal. So for the AX8 III patch, it's pre-programmed using the per preset programming for the FC12. For FM9, we've done some custom layouts for the buttons on the FM9. For FM3, it's set up to work with an FC6. We just kind of figure that's what people are probably using with those different units. In all three, you get access to both like individual effects and scenes.
Yes.
All right. More info in the README files.
That's
if you
why
have
it
any
is
trouble
there.
at all, please download the README files. Also, update your firmware because FM3 and AX8 III, this is updated for the Cygnus firmware, which has been out for a bit yet. It makes everything sound better. FM9 came with Cygnus. There's no option. There's no non-Cygnus option. Okay. Moving on, let's talk about tone. We have multiple drive options.
It's a broad topic.
In each of these. Let's talk about tone, Bradford. All right, get yourself a cold beverage. We're gonna be here a while. Okay, so for each of these patches, we've given you at least 3 different options, which you can then combine to make more options. We have like a stage 1 drive. For this patch, it's the King of Tone. Stage 2 drive for this patch is a full tone full drive, or we use the control switch functionality from Fractal to turn the gain on the amp up. Mm-hmm. So you've got a King of Tone option, a full drive option, an amp gain option. On AX8 III, you can turn them all on at the same time. We don't necessarily recommend that. That's a lot of gain, a lot of compression.
You can do what you want, though.
Yeah, you can do what you want. On FM9, you can turn all of those on as well at the same time because we've used 2 drive blocks for FM9. FM3, we've only used 1 drive block and utilized the channel switching. So the King of Tone and full drive cannot be used at the same time, but you can combine either of them with the amp gain. That's a lot of mouthful.
Which should get you by. Yes, it is.
Yes. So tons of tonal options. Bradford is going to take us through.
Would you like to hear it?
Yes, I think they would.
Bass tone, neck pickup. If you dig in, there's some gain. But
especially
on the bridge,
if you go to the bridge, yeah.
On the bridge. And middle, just because I know people are going to add. All right, King of Tone. We like to use King of Tone in the way that I like to use the actual pedal. Just pushing it a little bit, almost to the point where it doesn't feel like it's on if you turn it on. Like it's not oversaturated and all. There's still gain there. But on the bridge. I make weird faces when I play big rhythm chords because it sounds so good. Full drive is a...
Can I make a note, a pro tip about the King of Tone and why we use it in this context? It's something that Bradford taught me. With the neck pickup, the King of Tone pedal is magic.
It is.
It is more magical than almost all other drive pedals that we've tried.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times when you want like a bluesy type of neck tone, on a Tele or a Strat in particular.
Especially, yep.
Like that, just a little bit of saturation and gain from the King of Tone with a single coil, well, with a neck pickup in general, but especially with a single coil neck pickup is so good. So that's one of the main reasons we use the King of Tone on like almost not all the patches, but many of them.
It's at least
for that
in
reason.
There if it's not like in the channels.
Yeah, if it's not channel A.
Yeah.
And another note, on all of the blocks for all of these presets, all 4 channels are utilized except for like the cab blocks and the amp blocks.
Yeah, we didn't go that far.
We use control switches to do that, but like on these drive blocks, like all of the channels are drives that we've dialed in for this patch. So you can pick and choose.
Yeah. So we'll use similar drives in other patches, but we go through and make adjustments with each patch we make.
Yeah, we don't just copy
and choose what we think is the best representation of what we want. Yeah. And yeah, there's something magical about a King of Tone on a neck pickup. It fattens stuff up, but then on the bridge, it does exactly what you want. So yeah.
It's very good.
One more time with that context. So here's...
Let's move on to more drive.
We're gonna have to move on. We can be here all day.
Like we said, let's talk about tone. Well, okay.
There's a good chance if you're on this video though as well, which Brian, I didn't think about this till just now, is that maybe they've never seen any of our videos before, and they saw the word free and they were like, "I'm all about
free
that,
fractal stuff."
I'm all about that. So
yes, of course.
This will give you an opportunity to risk free. Like you don't have to pay us money. We're giving this to you.
Not at all.
So you can check out what we do. So full drive, it's a variation of a tube screamer. It can get nasally, which we'll hear in a second, but I feel like it's a more, it doesn't dump as much low end as an actual tube screamer is notorious for doing. So here's bridge pickup again. Full drive.
That sounds real good.
We should charge people for this. That's so good.
We should, but we're not gonna.
No.
Okay.
Amp gain. Yeah, plenty of people have told us that they buy our patches and then they will say,
but
I ended up
using
the free one all the time.
Yeah, the free AC30.
Okay, that's your prerogative. Again. So in this case, the AC30, we're not necessarily using the amp gain as like your third stage drive. Sometimes we do. And depending on the amp. And sometimes
like
we
the
have...
SLO patch, for example.
Yeah. And, I mean, an SLO is a high gain amp.
Yeah.
Sometimes we actually include like a distortion type, like a more of a hard clipping type of drive.
We like the Sir Riot in here. Fractal has a shimmer one called the Shimmer drive. And the Rat sounds really cool in here too. Yeah, so sure.
Well, sometimes we use amp gain. So let's just real quick, if you're using the amp gain and you want to stack something. And if that's too much verb for you. So that was with the full drive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we utilize these combinations for in the scenes. So, for example, scene 1 is clean. That's none of the drives on. Scene 2 is drive. That is the King of Tone. That's like stage 1. Scene 3 is drive plus. That's the King of Tone with the amp gain together. Scene 4 is usually some version of lead. In this case, it's that big, huge praise and worship lead. That is amp gain with full drive on. Yeah.
And delay in a big verb.
But yeah. Lots of different options.
Speaking of delay.
Yeah, speaking of delay, let's talk delays. There are many options to choose from here.
Again, in each block, there are 4 channels, and typically they are similar style. So our styles, depending on what the patch is, typically it's a lighter delay that you would probably want to keep on more often.
Yep.
And that could be a handful of different subdivisions, or it could be a different subdivision, different type. Then we have a little more prominent delay, and then which is typically dotted eighths.
Yep.
And then we pretty much always in any patch include a dual delay. And the difference here is that delay is sending 2 repeating signals, and they are in parallel, so they're not interacting with one another. So the other delays, everything is in series. So if you stacked them all on, you get almost like a reverb. But the dual delay, they're parallel, so you're going to get a lot cleaner individual repeats, and especially if you run in stereo, you'll really be able to appreciate that.
Yeah, and the way it works out with the different units is AX8 III has 3 delay blocks in it, so you get the more subtle delays in delay block 1, 4 different options for those via the channels. You get the dotted eighth delays, the more prominent delay in delay block 2. Again, 4 different versions of dotted eighths. Usually our go-to is channel A, like that's what we keep on, that's like our pick. and then that is usually a deluxe memory man for the dotted eighth. And then in delay block 3, you get the big dual delays. So FM9 has 2 delay blocks. So delay block 1 is your more subtle verbs. Delay block 2 is your bigger, not verbs, delays. It's your bigger and more ambient delays. And FM3 has 1 delay block, and so all the different channels switch between like subtle, bigger, biggest.
Yeah.
That's how it works out. So you can't stack the delays as much with FM3, but you can with FM9 and Axe-FX 3.
Here we go. Just a quick little rundown. So that's a quarter note. Dotted eighth.
That deluxe memory man is cool.
It's got some character.
Yeah,
you may be the
awesome.
only person who appreciates that, but in your in-ears, your monitor mix.
Yes.
But that's okay.
Meaning, people like in your context, like when you're playing in church, we also appreciate that.
No, yeah.
But we're talking about like when you're playing in church.
Oh yeah, we appreciate it. And again, in stereo, if I haven't said that.
Yeah.
This is the second time we're shooting this video. I don't remember if I said that yet. In
We've never said it yet.
In stereo, it sounds glorious. So here's our dual delay in stereo. So you can hear that the repeats are consistent. You're not getting this, it's not getting washier and washier.
It's more patterned, rhythmic.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you get this. And that's just with our plate verb. So the plate verb with that dual delay it's a different kind of sound than if you were to turn on the bigger verb and maybe use 1 delay. So now real quick for reference, this is using 2 delays in series instead. You'll notice that the repeats start getting closer together and they start getting washy. So it happens further on, but that's the difference between series and parallel, a little effects lesson.
And for these presets, we've given you, if there are multiple delay blocks, like for I guess this is just Axe-FX 3, 2 of the blocks are in series and then the other 2 are in parallel. So you can do series delays or parallel delays. We wanted those options available. All right, let's talk reverb. You get basically 2 kinds. Well, you get more than 2 on Axe-FX 3, but blocks. You've got, and on FM9 you do as well, but we've broken it down into reverb block 1 is subtle reverbs. Usually like channel A is again our pick. It's a hall or it's a plate typically. Sometimes we use a hall as well. That's Bradford's preference, I believe.
That is my preference.
Delay block 2 are the big cloud type reverbs. We've also included on this patch for FM9 and all the Axe-FX 3 patches, the Plex verb. It's a different kind of big ambient thing. We use it for swells a lot. But the cloud reverb is the one that's available on the button. Now, on FM3, there's only 1 reverb block available. And so it switches channels to get the different reverbs. But what we've done is we've programmed it so that the Plex block handles that big reverb sound for you. So we can demonstrate now what those 2 types of verbs sound like.
So this whole time I've had the plate on, it just sounds it sounds nicer. And it's not huge, but you may think that it's a little in your face for what we're calling a light verb, but you got to think about the fact that we're also considering these patches like mix ready.
Yeah.
So if you're in a substantial size room, like one that's going to hold even 100 some odd people, you're probably going to notice that a light verb you can't tell in the house.
You can't really even hear it.
So it's going to be more for your ears.
Unless you're in like a cafeteria or a high school gymnasium, and then you hear more reverb than you ever want.
Verb. Yes. I typically, if I don't want verb on, I still will turn on a small verb because it feels better in my ears. It doesn't feel like it's just direct in.
Yeah.
But so here's it off, and here's it on. And then here's the cloud verb.
That's got a long tail on it. I think it's like an 8-second tail, which you can adjust to your liking. But that's how we like it. All right, so modulation. Now, we have thrown in all the tricks. In fact, Brad, we were prepping this patch to make this video. Just pulled it up, turned some stuff on and off, and Bradford's like, "We put my ramping tremolo in here for free." So we.
I mean, I like you guys, but.
So on FM9 and AX8 III, you get both chorus and tremolo. On FM3, you get one of the. I think it's chorus, but I might be wrong. I think it's chorus. Anyway,
you could check the read me, Brian.
Yeah, I could. Yes. You
could too.
I'm almost positive it's chorus. So you don't get this trick on the FM3. Sorry.
At least not in this
patch. We do in other patches. We took Bradford's Chase Bliss Gravitas pedal, one of your all-time favorite pedals.
Mm-hmm. For this one reason, too.
It has this ramping tremolo thing. So on on all of the Fractal products, you can attach parameters of your effects to controllers. And those controllers are all kinds of different things. They can be an external controller that you actually control, like a pedal. Or they have like arpeggiators, LFOs. Like you can set your volume pedal to an arpeggiator and it will like play a pattern based on how you set it. It's pretty cool.
It's like having a guitar tech in your box, and that button can do whatever you tell it to do.
Yes.
And you can adjust how it does it too.
Yes.
Which is what we did here.
Yeah, so we attached the speed of the tremolo to an LFO, and then what did we
shaped the curve.
We made the curve more log.
So like it hung at the top. So you'll hear here. So what's going on?
So cool.
So you'll hear that it's hanging differently. Maybe you're not perceiving that, but I know how I have my Gravitas set, and I like how it kind of just hangs. Like you feel like you're floating. It's like that ride at fairs where like the ship goes back and forth.
Yeah.
And you're at a point where it's like zero gravity. What is that? Is that what that's called?
You just hang there.
You just hang for a second, and like you're not going up anymore, but you're not moving. It's just gravity's got you just before you. Yeah. So that's what it feels like.
We're just trying to mimic physics and nature.
Yeah, but with
guitar
sound, guitar tone. And there's other trims. There's more standard trims.
Yeah, if you just want a regular old tremolo, I mean, why would you want regular old tremolo if you can do that? Yeah, but the other channels have other options.
There's subtle, and then there's more choppier.
Oh yeah, we have a chop one. So if you're playing, what's that Elevation song that starts out with the choppy trim?
Mighty Warrior.
There you go. If you're playing Mighty Warrior, I think you'd have to change the subdivision, but it's just that sound. Okay, and then there's chorus. And when you pull this up, I think it's a fairly subtle chorus, but there are other more chorused options in the channels. And finally, we should have mentioned this up front, but you get two different patches. You get one for single coils and one for humbuckers. And so I'm going to demonstrate. Now, this guitar has humbuckers in it, but they are McNelly Stagger Swaggers. They don't sound like humbuckers. They sound like single coils.
They can be bright.
I'm going to play the humbucker version of the patch with a more traditionally voiced humbucker guitar. We're going to do a magic guitar switch in 3, 2, 1. All right, we're back. Magic switch is done. All right, this is what it sounds like. I'm just going to quickly run through some sounds because this video has been long enough already. This is, you can't get much more traditionally voiced humbucker guitar than this. All right, here we go. This is the clean sound. These pickups have some output, so it's not super clean. But it does clean up. Every time I play this guitar, I'm just like, it sounds so good. All right. Some drive sounds. We'll go King of Tone, and then we'll turn the amp gain on with that so you can hear it. First clean, and then drive. Where's my tremolo? So there you go. The free AC30 patch, part of the free bundle for AX8 III, FM3, FM9, even AX8, although the AX8 patch won't sound quite like this at this point. But you can download all of these using the links below. Hey, if you're still watching, What are we going to have people say? We do this from time to time.
We do.
Tell us
your favorite energy drink.
Your favorite energy drink.
Because I got a Radical Skedaddle Bang in the fridge waiting for me.
Ooh. Did you bring two?
And I got a cherry limeade for you.
Oh, Bradford. Thank you. This is such a great friend.
He buys me lunch, I buy him a $2 energy drink. We call it even.
That's a pretty good deal for you. All right. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.